Welcome back to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. We're back with another one of our end of season player reviews, and this time it's on none other than Onana. What's his name? Mr. Last Dance himself, Onana. Um, if you believe everything you read in the papers, a very sought after midfielder this summer. Rumored to be potentially going for some big money. We're talking 50, 60 million. We'll wait and see on if that actually happens. Fabrizio Romano, I believe, said that Everton have a chance because he enjoys being at the club, which I hope is true. And I hope the last dance, I don't know what that was. I hope it was just a bit of silliness. Because although he's a very good player, I don't know if I can be fully invested in a player that sort of is very good, but he's just looking for the first ticket out. Sort of thing. It was one of the bigger problems with when we had Romelu Lukaku. I absolutely adored him, but you just knew he was going to go as soon as a good offer came. Hopefully Onana's not like that. He seems like a very genuine lad. He seems very intelligent as well, very gifted. Outside of football talking now, very gifted individual. And he seems to be really, loves playing up to the crowd. And I can imagine did enjoy the atmosphere on the last day and parts this season. I imagine he really enjoyed it. The 21-year-old. It's been a tough season for him, playing, in a club straight in the relegation. But without further ado, let's see how he's managed. So he started 29 games, subbed on for 4, subbed off for 13, and played 2,496 minutes, got 9 yellow cards, 1 goal, expected goals of 3.1, so underperforming in XG. His goal was inside the box and it was a header. Shots on target, 6. Shots off target, 22. Assists, 2. Chances created, 22. Total passes, 970. 41 dribbles attempted, 18 of them successful. 72 tackles attempted, 43 of them successful. 37 clearances and 37 interceptions. So straight from the off, you can tell what type of player he is. He's a player that works hard, gets across that midfield very well. Clearances, interceptions, tackles, likes to try and dribble, not always as successful. But you can see, the attempts there. He's just a high energetic midfielder who loves a tackle and an interception, loves his ground jewels. So yeah, moving on to his stats, we'll look at a couple of his. So he's had 4 big chances missed. 1 headed goal. It'll be interesting to see how many headers he wins over the course of this season. 2 assists, an expected assist of 1.67. So he's overperforming in that aspect. 42.4 touches per game, 2 big chances created per game, 0.7 key passes per game. Accurate passes per game is 24.7, which gives him an 84% on average pass completion a game, which is very, very good. Defending wise, he's got 1.1 interceptions per game, 2.2 tackles per game, wins possession 0.6 times a game, dribble passed 0.4 times a game, clearances per game 1.1. No error that's led to a shot, no errors that have led to goals, no penalties given away. He's got 0.5 successful dribbles a game, which is 44%. 6 total duels won a game, 4.2 ground duels won per game, 1.8 aerial duels won per game. You'd expect that to be a little bit higher because he's very tall. 7.7 times possessions lost per game. Gave away a foul 1.3 times a game and was fouled 1.5 times a game. Unfortunately, he's a very tall lad. He's about 195 centimeters tall. Don't know what that is in feet. This website has it in centimeters, so you're getting it in centimeters as well. But yeah, he's a tall lad, and it's almost reminiscent of Fellaini in the fact that when you're that tall, your elbows are going to be at most players' heads height, and it's going to go against you. I always thought with Fellaini, he wouldn't get as many yellow cards if all the players were the same size as him, but because he's so tall and elbows are a bit lower on people's body, a bit higher on normal people's bodies, you are going to get carded for a lot of elbows, a lot of pulls, a lot of tugs. So looking at him compared to the other Premier League centre mids, this is quite an interesting one. FB have him similar to Scott McTominay, Thomas Souček, James Garner, Philip Billing, who's had a great season at Fulham, at Bournemouth, Jalpalina, who's had a great season at Fulham, and Weston McKennie of Leeds United, or it looks like probably not anymore after the way Leeds fans were chanting at him. But yeah, so compared to the other Premier League centre mids, he's in percentiles. Nothing really stands out in terms of statistics of penalties, XG, assisted, expected assists, or anything like that. Nothing like massively strikes out. Passes attempted, he's actually in the low percentile. Passes completed, though, he's in the higher one. That goes hand in hand. Then it's about average again until you get to defending. 2.6 tackles per 90, which is in the 80 percentile. 1.34 interceptions, which is in the 78th percentile. Clearances, he's in the 68th percentile. Aerials, 94th percentile. When you look at some of those players I've mentioned, then some of them are tall, but nowhere near as tall as Onana. It's very impressive to see that. His tackles in the midfield, 1.52 tackles in the mid third, which is in the 96th percentile. Percentage of dribblers tackled, 71.4, which is putting him in the top 99 percentile. He's just a phenomenal defensive midfielder. You can see his hunger to want to be more than just a defensive midfielder. You can see him want to be almost like a box to box ball carrier. But when he at 21, he might get that part of his game in. But right now, his defensive side is absolutely phenomenal. He's a great aerial presence. He's a great tackler. His passing could be a little bit better, but he likes to do layoffs. He gets fouled often. He's an indirect set piece and he commits fouls often, which is unfortunate. But all in all, he's a fantastic prodigy. You can tell why he's sought after. He might not fully be the real deal right now, but you can just tell by looking at him that this lad's got a lot of what's the word? Potential. A lot of potential to add to his game and could be a real force in the Premier League in the next couple of years. You can see why the likes of Arsenal are looking at him, Chelsea supposedly, although I think they're going to get Manuel Ugarte. Um, yeah, and Arsenal I think might look elsewhere before him, but you can see why he might be on some lists. I personally hope he stays. I think he's potentially could end up being an Idrissa Gueye replacement. As Idrissa Gueye is getting on a bit now and is in his twilight years. So yeah, this season though, I'm gonna give him a 6.5. We're doing it by 5 or by a full rating. Not quite a 7. 6.5 seems a little bit low. I'd have loved to give him somewhere in the middle of them two. But yeah, because we're doing it this way, 6.5 for Onana. I think no, you know what? I'm going to give him a 7. I think if I had to pick, he's closer to the 7 than he is to the 6.5. So I'm going to give him a 7. Fantastic player with a lot of potential. That's all we've got time for. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and comment down below your thoughts on Onana. Look forward to reading them. See you.